Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So I'm gonna try something a little different. Obviously, I don't normally do these types of videos, but I figured it'd be fun to try something new with you guys. So Toyota just released the tail end of the brand new 2024 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. It's kind of a boring photo that they released, but it still tells us a little bit, right? In the bottom right hand corner, you'll see that iForce Max badge clearing up any speculation that it would be anything other than that, right? So it does confirm the fact that it is going to be that hybrid power plant. Now, is it going to be the same exact iForce Max that we find in the 2022 and up Tundra TRD Pro or the 23 Sequoia TRD Pro? No. I think we can confidently say that that is not going to be the case, and we can probably expect a four-cylinder hybrid power plant, right? So it's still going to be so much more punchy, so much more snappy than the current generation when it comes to power delivery. I'm confident in saying that. But do we want that? Do you want to have a hybrid Tacoma, right? Especially on the TRD Pro. Would you prefer a naturally aspirated power plant? So that kind of begs the question. I mean, do you now jump on the current generation, last year of the current generation, 2023 Tacoma TRD Pro? Do you buy that, or do you wait for this new 2024 full redesigned Tacoma TRD Pro to come out? That's a tough question, because I think the Tacoma at large is probably, I don't know, I mean, the most debatable platform that currently exists, right? So it has a naturally aspirated V6, a 3.5 liter V6 with the 6-speed automatic transmission. And a lot of people complain about it. A lot of people have always kind of found it to be pretty gutless and kind of a lackluster power delivery. And I don't disagree with that. I've owned a few of these. You guys know, if you follow the channel, you know I've owned a few Tacoma TRD Pros. I love the truck. I love so much about it. I love the simplicity. I love the reliability, of course. I love the body design cues. I think it was ahead of its time when it did come out in 2016, that particular generation. And I just love the way it makes you feel when you get into it. So, I mean, it really is very much Toyota-esque. And if you've owned one or sat in one, you know what I'm talking about. Very bare bones, very basic. You get that soft text leather interior, very simple dash and gauge display, very simple, as well as the ease of use of the climate controls, right? Just got some simple knobs for volume and the climate control. So I appreciate that kind of stuff. And the more we get advanced, more technology that we find in these vehicles, I don't know, I find myself longing to have that simplicity within the Toyotas of old, right? I mean, that's kind of why I gravitated back to the Toyota Land Cruiser. I have a Land Cruiser Heritage Edition now, and I love it. I love the fact that there's not a whole lot of bells and whistles going on in there, not a whole lot of tech. It's pretty dated, and it's just comfortable reliability, and excellent peace of mind, and that's why I love it. So I think a lot of people like the current generation Tacoma for similar reasons, right? So it's just a very simplistic vehicle, very reliable, and you can always count on it. So, but you just can't say the same for any kind of hybrid setup. And this is coming from someone who's owned the iForce Max Tundra TRD Pro and as well as the Sequoia TRD Pro. It is a ton of fun to drive, and I think a lot of people will love it. But I think, I don't know, it's just, you can't help but question the longevity of it when they strap, a hybrid battery pack to it as well as a turbo. It'll likely be a 4-cylinder turbocharged hybrid, right? That's what we're expecting. I don't know, you just can't comfortably have that same peace of mind that it's going to last 250,000 miles. Kind of like what we would feel with the current 5th generation 4Runner as well as the 3rd generation current Tacoma. The naturally aspirated platforms tend to do a little bit better, historically speaking. Same goes for the 5.7 liter V8 that we had in the Tundra, right? And, I mean, sometimes change isn't always good. Change is always hard for everybody, but it's not always good. Obviously, there's emission standards and new regulations forcing manufacturers' hands to make these adjustments for emissions, but I don't know. I wonder what the longevity of this new platform will be. I'm sure the design will be awesome. We've already seen a few Brazilian patent office leaks of renderings of what we can potentially see, and it seems to be lining up, and very, very Toyota Tundra-esque is what we're seeing with this Tacoma here. And I'm sure it's going to look awesome. I'm sure a lot of people are going to love it. I'm going to love it. But I wonder about the longevity of it. Now, for someone like me who owns a vehicle for about 9.5 hours, it's not going to be an issue, but I'll likely get a Tacoma at some point. I don't know. Historically speaking, that last model year of a generation tends to do the best when it comes to resale for a number of reasons. The biggest reason being the fact that by this point, Toyota or any manufacturer, they have worked out the bugs and kinks. At least you would expect that, right? So they've worked out all the bugs and kinks along the years of the generation, and now it's quote unquote the best and final form of that generation. So I think if you are on the fence of considering a 2023 Tacoma, the current gen, or getting that new one, waiting for the new one, I would recommend just pulling the trigger and getting the 23, especially if you get the TRD Pro. And if you're really curious or worried, I should say, about resale value, I would encourage you to get that TRD Pro exclusive color, the Solar Octane. Whether you love it or not, I mean, that will tend to yield the best return in resale value in 5 to 10 years. Maybe not next year, but long term, people will long for that vehicle again, will ultimately pay the coin for it, I think. So that's been the case. It was a case for the Tundra, right? The Tundra TRD Pro, trying to find an Army Green Tundra TRD Pro with low miles, or even a Lunar Rock Tundra TRD Pro from the current generation, the V8. Trying to find them for anything less than what MSRP was used is nearly impossible a few years later. Kind of wild, right? So I think we can expect the same for the Tacoma. The last thing we'll talk through is the price tag. So I'm very hopeful that they do not do what they did with the Tundra. The Tundra, they went from a $54,000 MSRP to a just under $70,000 MSRP, over $70,000 after processing and handling, right? So it's just a huge jump, a $16,000 jump for the Tundra. And I really hope, I know they're not going to do that big of a jump. I'd be blown away if they did that. But really, I'm hoping that they keep it in the mid-50s. Even mid-50s is a ton of money. Do you remember like 5-10 years ago, if you were to if you were to say that out loud, I'm going to buy a Toyota Tacoma for $54,000, $53,000. If you were to say that out loud, you'd get punched in the face because it was insane to say that, right? But now that's just our reality, and it's kind of a bummer, right? But I just hope they don't price hike that Tacoma so much, right? So I'm hoping that it stays in that mid-50s. Even that being a lot of money is at least doable for folks, and it's still a ton of money. So that is my hope for it. I do think it's going to be awesome looking. It's going to be incredible. Toyota does a really good job with their design cues. Hopefully it doesn't lose its reliability, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more, not a lot more, but I'm sure we'll see more off-road goodies within it, off-road technologies within it that I'm sure going to be incredible for folks. So let me know what you're going to do. I'd be curious. Are you going to try to get the 2023? Try to get that last year of the current generation, the most tried and true version of it, or you're going to roll the dice a little bit, but get the new cheese, get that brand new 24, be the new kid on the block, but at the risk of it being, potentially being flawed at the beginning, right? So the first 2 or 3 years of any new generation, any new full redesign tends to have a couple of bugs within it. We saw it within the Tundra. We're kind of seeing it within the Sequoia, mainly the Tundra, but they've kind of worked it out, I think, for the Sequoia. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're going to do. And again, let me know if you appreciate this type of format here. Just trying to shake it up a little bit, get out of the ordinary, and just try something new for you. So I appreciate you watching as always. Until next time.